All right. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2026, and this is my review for the day. We finished the day down about $77, but I am, despite this, I am super proud of the performance today. Today was very much a learning kind of day. I am in the middle of trying to restructure my entire system, essentially, between a few different setups, and I will go over what those are first. Um, the first one and the most profitable, in my opinion, is the triple divergence reclaim. I've had a lot of success with this setup in the past. It continues to pay. Even today, I had some really good setups trading it. The second setup is the prior value area momentum setup. And this one is a lot more frequent. It occurs basically every minute of every session, which means you have to be very, very selective in trading them. And then the other one is range favor divergence, essentially just trading into ranges using mean reversion and divergences. Now, all three of these should not be traded by themselves. They require additional factors of support and a higher time frame read. And I think the the inconsistency of today's session was probably due to a lack of higher time frame read, and I plan on cleaning that up and tightening those trades a little bit moving forward. But I think today was a good kind of base to work with. It's a good foundation. I've got three really good setups that I am looking forward to refining, and it's just given me a sense of confidence and stability. Like there's no more guesswork. I know what these setups are. I know what I need to do to tighten them up, and that's what I hope to accomplish with today's review. First, some stats. Win rate was 47.8%, with a total of 23 trades, 11 wins, 12 losses. My average winning trade was 5.7 ticks, and my average losing trade was 7.4 ticks. So, pretty clear discrepancy there between the win rate and the average win, average loss. And those are things we can clean up fairly easily. It's easy to address those things, especially when you have the foundation of knowing what your setups are. So, let's get into it. This is trade number one. We have a lot of trades today, so I'm going to kind of breeze through these. But regardless, let's start with trade number one. I believe this one was a prior value area retest. You can see here we have a couple different prior value areas. We are pulling back into it. I am long biased at this point in the session because we've come down and defended a prior auction area. And I think it's a pretty good trade. So let's tag it. This was a momentum prior value area. The setup quality, it's not great. We don't have a lot of upside momentum at this point in the session. So I'll call it a B, maybe even a C, just because I don't have a lot of factors of support. I did have pretty good slip favor advantage there. And I think that's it. I think those are the only things I'm gonna tag, just because I have to get through a lot of these. This was a scalp. Trade number two. This looks like a try two of the same setup. And it does look a lot better here. Because we have successfully defended that prior value area. That being said, it does almost come down and take my stop loss out. But if we fast forward, we do get that nice move up for the 5-tick profit. I'll call this a green star. Try 2. Momentum prior value area. I'm going to call that a B setup. Did have the slip favor, and I was pretty clear on my read at this point. Next one, trade number 3 is a 3-tick loss. It does look pretty good. We do have a nice little range to play with. We do have a nice little divergence to play with. However, I think the reason this trade didn't work is because we've already breached the top of the range, and now I'm long at the bottom of the range. And when that happens, it's usually a sign that the range has failed and that we're going to trade lower. Yeah, that's exactly what we do. So I'm going to yellow star this one. Momentum prior value area, slip favor, clarity in between. I'm actually going to put confused just because I'm missing context on this one. And in fact, let me pull up some of my other tags here. Missing context right there. All right, I think that's good. Trade 4 is a 1-tick loss. And it looks like a short, and I actually do really like this setup. It just didn't work. I'm trading a prior value area continuation, going short at the bottom of the prior value area. But there is a really nice try 2 attempt that ends up being a really good trade, and I think I screenshotted that. Yeah. This one right here. So the try 2 short would have worked for this setup. The first entry just failed, and that was kind of a lesson I was exploring throughout the day, was that a lot of times when a setup fails, it's actually setting up for another trade that's even better, that has even higher probabilities. I'm going to call this a green star. I'm pretty happy with this trade. Value area. Slip favor. And I'll call this an A setup. It's pretty good, honestly. Now, trade 5 is a 27-tick loss, and that was a outlier trade. It was kind of a black swan event where I set an order to go long, and the moment it fills, there's some sort of an order flow event that causes massive amounts of slippage on my trade. And there wasn't really much I could have done to avoid that, because it wasn't news focused. For the timestamp is 9:41:47, so there's no clear news at that moment. I think it was just an outlier order flow event. So I might even create a new tag called create a new tag called Black Swan. Just because that sort of thing is totally unavoidable. There's no way I could have predicted that. For reference, my stop loss was 4 ticks, and I ended up getting filled at 27 ticks loss. So, that being said, I don't really like the setup quality that much. I don't think it was that great. So I'm going to call this a C. Give it a yellow star. Slip flavor and market read, I think, was in between. I do catch a really nice mean reversion on the way back up. we set up for a really nice triple reclaim divergence. Divergence triple reclaim. Mean reversion. And this was a hold. Where's my hold? Divergence reclaim balance. I also want a tag for ATR candle, which I think I already have one. All right, that seems to be broken for some reason, but that's okay. Slap that on. Entry good, exit good. This was an A+ setup. Green star. Awesome execution. You can see I was in it for quite a while, and I actually averaged into this trade too. I added an additional 5 lots. So I'm trading 5 lot micros. This trade was a 10 lot micro. And it ended up being a very, very good trade. So, textbook doesn't get much more textbook than that. And let me make sure I have a screenshot of that one. Yes, I do. Paste that. Good. Trade number 7, 7 tick loss. Yeah, just not a great setup. We don't have enough momentum. Trade 8, 7 tick profit, and it's kind of a try too of the last one. And it looks a little better, and I also have a divergence, so divergence favor. I'll green star that one. Try 2. Trade 9 is a short, and I take a 5 tick loss on it. I'm gonna red star this one. No factor support. I don't like this setup. Trade 10 is an 8 tick loss. Long side. I'm also not crazy about this one. I would like to see it pull back more before going long. I agree with the bias, but I just don't think the setup is that great. And the trade location is not that good. Now trade 11 is a try 2. I think there's a much better setup here. Go back, see what that last divergence was. Let me see. Do I have a picture of this one? Yes, I do. Yes, this was another triple reclaim divergence, and it was a great trade. Triple reclaim. I'll call it a B setup just because we don't have great reclaims. But we do still have some pretty good balance. We also have absorption working for us. I'm going to call this multiple factors of support. And we also have pretty high volume on that, so a lot of factory support there. Entry good, exit good, although I think I could have held that longer, could I? Yeah, I could have held that longer, so I'm going to change that to hold longer next time. This was a pretty conservative move to move, slip favor, clear market read, and that'll be a green star. Trade 12 is a short 4-tick profit. Oh, sorry. Long 4-tick profit. And this looks like a pretty simple ATR trade, but I have, or sorry, momentum prior value area, but I have a divergence candle, which is helping me. I have the range favor on it. So I also have reclaim favor. I do have balance favor, multiple extra support. All right, so let's we're about halfway through the trades. Let's make some observations here. My first observation is that the prior value area trades are not working very well on their own. When I'm just trading a prior value area based on raw price action, they're not really working. They're very low quality setups. However, when I combine them with other factors of support, like a divergence with a big reclaim, with range favor, then you kind of start to juice it a little bit, and it makes more sense. So we're gonna have to work on that. We're gonna have to clean those trades up a little bit. Let me see if I have a screenshot for this one. Move this over. Oh, this is 10:03. Do I have a 10:03? No, I did not screenshot this one. That's okay. Moving on. Trade 13 is a 5-tick loss to the long side. This one might have a screenshot under failures, though. No, it does not. 10:04. So this one I think is too early. I'm going to put a hold more tag on that. It's actually a decent setup. I just need to change the execution style. And then this one I do have a screenshot of, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it comes back and fills me. And then it does go in my favor pretty quick. So let's copy this picture over. This is basically what was going on here. We were defending these lows. We were accepting higher, meaning we're breaking out of the range. And these little pullback areas are providing really good risk to reward. So I believe I enter on this first one. There could have also been an entry opportunity here. There could have been an entry opportunity here at the top, mid, and low end of the range. So this was a good setup. This was momentum prior value area. I had range favor. And I think I had a divergence at some point, but it wasn't the greatest. But I also have other factors like reclaim and balance. Setup quality, I call it C. It's not amazing, but still good enough. Trade 15 is a 9-tick loss to the long side. And I think at this point, this is at 10.13. I think I might be chasing here. Yeah, I'm just going to red star this one. No factors of support. If I can't see it, if I can't sit here and like see the setup, then it's not a good setup and I'm just chasing. So let's put chasing tag on there. Trade 16 is a 1-tick profit. 10.14. I don't think I have a screenshot for this either. Yeah, I also don't like this one. I think I'm chasing at this point. I have a bias. I have a long bias, but I don't have a setup. So this will be a red star. Chasing. Trade 17 is a 6-tick loss. And I can see why I took this trade, but it's not great, honestly. I think I'm trying to take a triple reclaim divergence trade, and there is a divergence, but there is no balance. Like we are clearly in a sell-off dominant area. Trend against, balance against. And the reason I say balance against, because there isn't really any balance. The sellers are just clearly in control here. So I don't like this trade. I'll red star it. Trade 18 is an 11-tick loss. Also a long. Yeah, I don't see what I'm trading here. This is at 10.19. No. There is, however, there are a couple good ones coming up. So this one will also be a red star. Impulsive. Trade 19 is a 6-tick loss to the long side. Yeah, again, I just don't like it. I'm fighting a trend. Trend against, balance against, red star. Now then, this one is a, looks like a 7-tick profit to the short side. And I do like this one. Yeah, I even have a screenshot of this one. So copy, paste. This was a prior value area. Look at the trend favor. Got the balance favor. And that's kind of it. That's kind of all you need. And ATR candle favor. So I like this one because we have precedence of us putting in ATR candles, breaching the prior value areas, and then continuing lower. And it's a repeatable pattern. Once you have precedence that pattern's working, you're good to take it essentially. And this was a very good example of that. So I will green star this one. Setup quality, I'm going to call it an A. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good setup. 4-tick profit to the short side for trade 21. And I think it's the same thing as last time. Yeah, it is. So I'm just going to copy the tags. Green star. Trade 22, 4-tick profit to the short side. Oh, sorry, this is a long. My bad. And I actually have a screenshot of it. So let's copy that screenshot in there. This one was nice because we are now starting to reverse to the upside. We're defending lows and also making higher highs, accepting higher. Um, there was a large amount of sellers from earlier that got absorbed, and they're likely getting squeezed. And we've got just a really nice prior value area that we bounce off of. So I'll probably paste these in here. I'm going to tag absorption, A setup, green star. And then trade 23, last trade of the day, 4 tick profit. I think I screenshotted this one too. Yeah, I did. Um, this one was also a prior value area. Paste, upload. You can see here we put in a really nice defense, but we got a big divergence on the indices volume. But then we also have a really big buyer on stocks, which helps me get into this trade. I really like it when I'm eyeballing a long position and then a big volume comes in the same direction. High volume, absorption, prior value area. I think that's it, because I don't think I had it. Oh, and divergence. Yeah, divergence. This was a momentum prior value area. Setup quality, I'm going to call that an A. I do like that one a lot. That'll be a green star. All right, so those are all the trades done. Let's go down to daily report card. So, what worked today? I think the biggest, most obvious answer to that question is stacking layers of edge. The prior value areas are a setup that I'm experimenting with because I really like that they have high frequency, but as it stands right now, they have a low win rate. I think I can boost that win rate substantially by layering other factors of support on top of it. Like I noticed the best prior value area trades I had today also had a nice divergence, a really nice divergence. So that's one thing to look out for. Also, trade location. If we're in an area where sellers are getting absorbed or buyers are getting absorbed, or we have a really nice support resistance area, or um, you name it, whatever factors of support you want to think about. Like those last few trades were really good examples because we had ATR candles supporting us. You know, I think the prior value area setup can be really good. It just needs more. It needs more factors of support. We can even go through some screenshots of them today to kind of get an example. I had to take a lot. Let's try to find one with good. Yeah, so this is a good one, right? We're breaking down at the low of this range. We get some good compression, a nice divergence, prior value area retest, and then a puke lower. This one is really good because we're getting multiple different defenses. We have so much precedence of prior value areas being defended that there's multiple scalp opportunities in one prior value area. This is another good one because we have, again, precedence of these prior value areas getting taken out and then trading or continuing lower. We have good ATR candle favor there. Good balance favor. Again, same thing here. We get a really nice spike, 2 ATR candles in a row, and then we put in a sell side divergence for a short. Excellent trade. Another one here. We keep defending the lows of these prior value areas. Defending. We also have order flow favor here because the big sellers are getting absorbed. So the point I'm trying to make here is that these prior value area trades can work really well when they're combined with other factors of support. That's something I need to focus on. Other things that worked, triple reclaim divergence, 100% win rate on those trades today. They are just awesome. They work so well. The frequency is low. I think I only had 2 or 3 of them today. But still, they're awesome setups. Yeah, this was one really good one here where we have nice, boring, steady price action and then a big puke. Here's another one, boring, steady, puke. And let me trade back up into it. This is a decent one, boring, steady price action and then a puke, and we reclaim it. This one's interesting though because I had to wait quite a while for the divergence to actually take shape. So that's another note that I need to make is just wait until the excellent area to enter. What didn't work today? Forcing setups that didn't have any factors of support. These losing trades today were really obvious, and if we just do for example, if we filter out that black swan, and then we also filter out red star trades, I would have been up $400 today. You know, and not all of those red star trades, like I did have some good losing trades today. It's just those red star trades where there's nothing going on and I'm just chasing or I'm just forcing trades. That's what kills your P&L curve. So I really need to focus on that. Good trade location, good factors of support, good higher time frame read, just that clarity that you need. And then what to do differently. I need to do a better job of narrating the factors of support. I want to make sure that I am actively keeping up with price action, keeping up with volume, keeping up with the higher time frame charts, and doing everything I can to focus on obtaining that clarity. Because when I have that clarity and when I have a good entry signal, there's edge there. Like when I'm just focusing on factors of support and I'm really taking my time with stuff, there's trades to be had and there's lots of opportunity in this market. So I just need to do a better job of making sure I am actively narrating and I have multiple factors of support and I'm not just putting a trade on for the sake of putting a trade on. So that's one thing I would like to do differently. Which brings me to today. I think my performance today was probably somewhere around a B. I think there was definitely room for improvement, but considering today was a learning day, I think there was a lot of potential, and I'm excited for the next one. So I'm gonna call it there and have another one tomorrow.